In August of 2021, my husband Tom retired, and we left the big city of Boston for the small town of Moodus in the Connecticut River Valley. After more than 3 decades of living in a metropolis, we were both eager to get back to the rural way of life we had both grown up with. In the midst of COVID, we bought an 1808 federal-style house, which happily the prior owners had beautifully restored and refreshed. After a city-sized garden that was 1/15 of an acre, it was exciting to have an expansive 1.4 acres to play with. We also needed to salvage a pool that looked like a toxic waste dump after being neglected for 8 years. Let me give you a glimpse of what we were up against. We started with a loose vision, and then we let things unfold. Little did we know our plans would require 15 months of a lot of heavy lifting by more than 30 different contractors, tradesmen, and landscapers, and their Broncos, backhoes, bobcats, bulldozers, caterpillars, compressors, quads, dumpsters, forklifts, mules, tillers, and tractors, among many other implements. Our first priority was bringing the pool back to life. We started by bulldozing down the decrepit fence and the jungle that had grown up around it. The pool didn't just look bad on the surface. We learned that the subterranean situation also needed an overhaul. It was necessary to dig deep to fix the pool's underground infrastructure. And when I say dig deep, I mean dig deep. Then there was the icky job of cleaning up the muddy mess of the pool bottom to get it ready for a new lining. Yikes! Long after it was too cold to swim, we finally got some nice, fresh salt water in the pool after a new liner had been installed. We then buttoned the pool up for the winter, knowing that in 2022 we would finally be able to take our first dip. But the work continued. Connecticut's geological history means the state abounds with all manner of rocks, and we had our share on our new property. With the help of Mark of excavating contractors, we moved an assortment of stones and small boulders strewn around to create a perimeter for the pool area. As the year drew to a close, the property was showing the wear and tear of all the demolition. Early in the spring of 2022, the work on the pool area continued, with a new liner installed and a retaining wall constructed. With Mother Nature having wreaked havoc on the stone decking around the pool during the time it was uncared for, that meant another masonry project to undertake. In tandem with taming the jungle that had grown up around the pool, we also set about clearing a large swath on the west side of the property of brambles and overgrowth, with the goal of creating a perennial garden. We decided to take down a massive black walnut tree, which is a species that is poisonous to plants, producing a toxic chemical that is released from its roots. our nice sunny slope was cleared, and we had a blank canvas to get to work on. This was the fun part for me. Happily, there are two fantastic resources for perennials in my new neck of the woods, and I became a regular at Bailick's Garden Center and Town & Country Nursery. This is after doing some preliminary clearing. And Tom and I planted 20 plants. And someday, this is going to be a beautiful perennial garden. We have bee balm, Russian sage, which I love, phlox, lavender, and anise. And then up on the left, we have anise and veronica. Today, we had Connor and Mitchell, local high school students, come for 1 hour and plant something like 26 arbor vitae along the perimeter of the property here, and then down below by the pool. They were very productive. And this area is being cleared away, and by next summer it will be a robust, vibrant, beautiful garden. And Tom was so kind as to dig me some holes, and tomorrow I will put these beauties in the ground, and little by little this will take shape, and I couldn't be happier about it. It's going to be magnificent. Really quite a dream come true, actually. And this is going to be my little foxglove enclave. But it's going to be quite something. It's going to be a beautiful terraced garden. I can't wait. With help from Mike Mitchell, Tom and I created borders for the garden area as a whole and for each of 4 big perennial beds, using stones that were in various locations around the property. The one piece of pool infrastructure that we salvaged was a trellis gate that we installed at the entrance to the perennial garden. As spring turned to summer, we made progress, running a hose underground to create a water station on the garden site, the better to care for the growing number of perennials. When we bought the house, we had intended to enclose the patio to create an extra room, but with COVID still in full swing, the prices we were quoted were astronomical. I stumbled upon an alternative, and we broke ground for a summer house that would sit next to the pool in March of 2022, with Mark of Excavating Contractors creating a pad that the structure would sit on. In May, the big day finally arrived, and the summer house we had designed was delivered, which was a traffic-stopping event. And the delivery team did some fancy footwork, navigating between two horse posts, under branches, around the old well, before landing the structure perfectly on its pad. We can't say enough about Atlas Outdoors, who we bought it from. They made the process super easy, and we are thrilled with the craftsmanship. Next, we began the work of tying the pool, summer house, and garden all together. Stone steps were built to integrate the summer house with the pool area. We enclosed the circumference of the pool area with small boulders, arbor vitae, and perennial beds. Atlas Outdoor completed the finishing touch on the summer house by placing the cupola on the roof. Next, the pool fence was put in place. Tom tied the summer house and garden together by stringing prayer flags. By August and the one-year anniversary of when we bought the property, our vision was really coming to life. We planted a row of flowering trees and bushes along the perimeter of the garden. hibiscus, rose of Sharon, and ruby spice summer sweet. Our next mission was to add rock features to the garden. With help from Mike, we gathered stones from around the property and incorporated them into the perennial beds. Our property line abuts land that has been left to nature, and unfortunately, vines on our neighbor's land are running amok and devouring the pine trees. We decided to plant some white-barked birch trees that should soon enough obscure the view of the poor pine trees. With more help from Mike, we created a sitting area at the top of the slope that offers a pretty nice view of the property. Next on the agenda, raised beds for the perennial garden for some height and visual interest. To further integrate the property features into a whole, Mike made a path from the summer house to the garden. I'm happy to say that the prayers we sent up that Moodus would begin to feel like home were heard. The summer house is a place for dreaming and creating. Come take a look. It's been an adventure making the property our own and seeing our vision come to life. There's plenty more to do, and I can't wait until spring to start on the next phase. As Robert Browning said, why stay on the earth except to grow? Thanks for watching. I hope seeing the transformation was fun for you. I'd welcome gardening tips and suggestions. Please share any ideas you have in a comment below. Stay safe and be well.